Hey, it's Manny. I'm always looking for new things to do, and running solo legendary missions is always a fun challenge. This isn't a speed run, and it took me about an hour and 20 minutes to complete. I did wipe a few times on the end boss, and I also stopped to pick up dropped gear. Speed runs are coming as I perfect the route and peak locations, but for now, I want to show you how you can also solo District Union, and I promise that you can do this as well. I can't hit headshots all the time, but the great thing about Division is with a bit of patience, smart thinking, and good placement, you can accomplish a lot too. This is not a complete playthrough because, as I said, it's an hour and 20 minutes, so I'm going to just show you most of the fights, the cover I stand behind, and I'll discuss the process and decisions throughout, as well as show you my build. Before we start, if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and ding that notification bell so you know when there's new videos. And if you're looking for someone to game with, you can find me and other players in the Militia Discord server. The link is in the description below. Alright, for our build, it's a Negotiator Dilemma build. So what we're doing is going with 4-piece. We have a mask. We're putting crit hit damage on everything. We're mod our second attribute, and our mods are all going to be crit hit damage, weapon damage, crit hit damage. We're going for critical mass. We want the backpack for the 60 to 100%. So instead of 60, we get 100% damage to marked enemies. And gloves, crit hit damage, and knees, crit hit damage. Now for our chest, we're actually going with pristine example. We want perfect focus. We hold it 60% more damage, weapon damage, total is weapon damage. So we got weapon damage, crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and I put a crit hit chance mod on here because I wasn't quite at the 60% cap, which we want to be at. Then we have a Seska holster, that is God roll. So you got weapon damage, crit hit damage, and crit hit chance. For our weapons, I hardly use the rifle, but I have it just for long shots when there's 1 or 2 enemies left. I might use this, but typically we're using the FAMAS. Could use a better one than this. We got fast hands on it. I like to reload quicker. There are better talents that'll give you more damage, but I like the ability to reload really fast. And we're going with the assault turret and the Crusader shield. Our specialization is gunner. We go with gunner for 10% armor on kills, foam nades, and we get 10% ammo every 60 seconds regen. So that's what we're going with right now for the foam nades. Pistol, don't really care about, whatever you have there. That's the build. All right, so basically every fight, we're going to approach every fight almost the exact same way. We're always going to try to find a piece of cover that we can peek on the right-hand side. We're going to stand up behind it. We're not going to actually be next to it in cover. We're going to have our shield out, and we're always peeking from the right. Now, I'm using focus, so I need the 8x scope, but regardless if you're using spotter, obliterate, glass cannon, or anything like that, you want the 8x scope, so that way you can actually peek around the corner without exposing yourself. You'll expose as little as possible. You also want to try to have 3 targets marked. That's where we're going to do our most damage. After your targets are marked, I always try to DPS down the highest level enemy, for example, a yellow, or what's even better is a mini tank or a dog, because they have a ton of armor, and you can actually burn down all the other hidden enemies. The biggest thing to remember here is just only peek enough so your scope goes around. Most of the time they can't even see you. In the beginning part, this gets a little tough with the grenaders. Make sure they don't sneak over to the right hand side where this mini tank is. You notice it's running back after I've done enough damage. The opening sequence has 3 waves. The first one that's already there, and 2 come by helos. Now, I skipped to the 3rd wave, which is this one, the chungus wave. The important thing here to do is mark the 2 chunguses as they drop, and there's going to be infantry with them as well. Try to take out a couple of the infantry as well, like mark 1, and make sure the chungus are stay marked so they keep doing damage to both of them. You want to make sure you hit the backpacks because of the hives. They can do a lot of damage, but most of the time, if you're here, the chunguses won't come past the gate. So really, there's nothing else to this than just finding a good place to hide so that you can take the enemies out without them shooting you or hitting you. See, they're not even hitting me right now, and I'm barely poking out. After you've taken care of everyone outside, you're going to enter in the mall. Now, it starts right away, so as soon as you open the doors, you want to get your shield out and just poke around the corner and just start lighting guys up. It's just a bunch of infantry, and you should be able to take them out pretty quickly. Remember, don't just focus one target. Make sure you have 3 marks up. So this section has 2 waves. The first wave is all infantry. The next wave has chunguses, and I'll skip to that right now. There's 3 chunguses that come down here. So like always, you want to make sure you try to take out the backpacks. You don't want to get hit by the hives. Mark the chunguses, but you're going to have to take care of the infantry because they're going to rush ahead. Sometimes I can actually get this and kill a chungus before they get to me, but if not, I want to show you what you do. So sometimes you have to run back out in the hallway. But what you do is you scope in and slightly go over to the left a little bit. You'll be able to shoot through the canvas and hit the chunguses sitting there, and they won't fire back at you. As you can see, I'm shooting right through the canvas and getting pings on the chungus. Reload and just keep doing it. Make sure you're shooting over your left shoulder. Just rinse and repeat 3 times. Once you've taken care of the 3 chunguses, you're going to run down the hallway, and the next phase won't start until you open this gate. Once you get in here, pull your shield out, poke around the right hand side like we always do, and just start lighting up the enemies. This one's not too hard. Just be careful of the minigun. It can shoot through the wall you're hiding behind, and you got to be careful too. Sometimes they actually rush you and run to the left. Once you're dealt with that wave, you're going to run forward, and you're going to get the next phase once you run around this box here, and you're going to run right back to where you were. Stay to the right hand side so they can't shoot you in the back. If you run up the middle of that hallway, you're going to be in trouble. So we're going to run right back here and hide behind the same location we were before. Now this is not a speedrun strat because this actually takes a lot longer to get back here, but you know, it's actually a safer one right now until we learn how to do a little bit quicker. Also for this one, be careful of the actual drones. The next encounter we have to deal with is going to be 2 dogs up in the top floors here. It's a purple and a yellow. What you want to do is mark them both and then run back down the stairs. Now you want to deploy your shield and poke a little bit up on the right hand side. Watch for grenades. That's the only thing that's really going to hurt you here, but you should be able to ping the dogs without getting too much damage. Just peeking up a little bit. Once the dogs are done, we're going to enter the restaurant area and start the next encounter. Now this one doesn't start until you actually shoot at them, so you're going to run up, go to the left a little bit here. We're going to shoot through this doorway right here. Basically everything's going to be through this doorway. We're going to try to mark the technician and start just destroying everything. Now occasionally someone will run up on the right hand side of you towards where the door is, where we came in. Just watch out for that. Make sure you don't get snuck up on the right hand side. Now this encounter has 3 waves. The first wave's infantry, the second wave has 2 dogs. So I believe one's a sniper and one's typically a Lucy style dog, but I think they can it can actually be random, and sometimes you get a grenader. So just take out the 2 dogs, and then after that you get another set of infantry. Not too hard, just stay behind this door, light things up as they come in. Most of the time they'll run straight at you from right down the hallway there, and it's really easy to take them out. Now the next section only has a 1 wave, but it's a little tricky. This is where we're going to use our turret, because we're going to have a heavy real close. We throw a turret on the table here. We're going to run up to where the triangle is to start the encounter. We're hopping the counter, and we're going to left look over. There's going to be 4 infantry that come out with the chungus. Try to take the infantry out quickly, and then we're going to actually go around the back of the restaurant entrance and try to take the chungus out from behind. Now the turret's there to actually soak the hive. Make sure you get the actual backpack taken out as fast as you can on the chungus. You can see the hive flying right now. Now I typically just shoot for the chest of the chungus. I don't always go for the helmet, especially in cases like this. Once the chungus is down, just move on to the next section. Now this section is actually a long section. It's tough because we're going to wait on this side of the door. So we're going to run up, we're going to throw a turret there on the counter. We're going to open the door, we're going to peek in, we're going to actually probably kill 1 guy in here. We probably take a red out. We actually mark a couple, and then we're going to run and hide. We're basically just going to sit over here behind this door here, and you're close enough that it's going to cause them to run into this room. The turret's there to kind of hold them off a little bit, and you're just going to try to kill as many as they come through. Now unfortunately they come in onesie twosies a lot of times, so it makes it tough on Negotiated Dilemma, but it's not too bad if you just do it. I don't know the exact number of waves. I think there's only 2. There's a lot of infantry in the first wave, and the second wave has a couple of chunguses with some infantry. I'm not 100% sure of the exact number of waves because I just hide back here and I can't see them cycle or whatever else. Just stay here and take them out as they come through the door. If you get lucky and get 2 or 3 at one time, mark them all up and shoot 1 down. Here's a good example when 4 come through the door and I'm actually in the middle of reload. You'll see me actually reload, and I'll go right back behind the cover for a second while I'm reloading, then pop back out and take them all out. Be smart about your positioning, especially when you're on a reload. Now sometimes the chungus gets stuck back there, so you might have to peek through the door a little bit, hit them a couple times with a couple rounds, and then run back out. They just hang around back there sometimes. What I also do is I don't typically stay right here. You'll see me slide back a little further because the chunguses take a lot more damage. So I let the turret soak the hive, and I just try to sit back. I try to take the backpack out first. Then in this case, I think I go for the helmet, but a lot of times I just go for the chest. In the next section, we're going to actually open these doors, and we're going to hide behind the video games on the left hand side. This is a good spot because obviously we could shoot from the right. Now for this one, you actually want to take out all the infantry because you're going to have 2 waves. You're going to have a bunch of infantry now, and then you have 3 chunguses come with some more infantry. You want to poke out and make sure you take out as much infantry as you can on the first set. As always, try to keep 3 targets marked and then keep DPS in 1. You'll get rushed behind the bar and up the right side a lot. Once they show up, try to mark all 3 of them, and of course always take out those hives. But these guys are so far back right now with me that I should be able to burn them before they even get close to me. There's still obviously some infantry floating around. I want to also take those guys out. This next section is not too hard. I'm going to throw my turret right down here on the ground, and I'm going to open the doors and start the fight. I'm going to pull them all into this room, so that way I can actually hide behind the piano in the back. I'll show you where I'm going to hide. Fight starts once we shoot someone, and they'll start coming through here one at a time, 2 at a time. This is kind of a long one because you actually got to drag them in there. And we'll hide behind this piano right here. That's it. They'll just come in onesie twosies. Easy peasy. The next phase is through these doors, and this is the actual arena part. We've gotten through them all. So now we're going to actually right peek this door, and we're going to stay right in here the hallway the whole time. I'm going to try to peek 1 or 2 guys, make sure we get some marks out there, and just DPS them down. Now be careful because of the grenadiers. They're just going to lob grenades through the doorway. Hide back. Usually they throw 3 at a time, and then you're just going to DPS things down. There are, I believe, 3 phases on this. The first phase has infantry and maybe a mini tank or 2. And the next phase has a couple of chunguses. And the last phase has a few dogs. The chungus is probably the most dangerous one, but they're so far away that if you can ping them and tag them, you'll be okay and be able to burn them down. As always, make sure you take out the backpacks. After we drop down the elevator shaft, we're going to enter the garage area. We're going to come out here and we're going to throw our turret out in the middle. I like to throw it on top of this set of boxes and then just hit a couple guys and run back into the elevator room. Let the turret deal with most of them, and you just pick them off as they come by. These are going to be onesie twosies. You're not going to get a lot of guys marking 2 or 3 guys at a time. Just deal with this infantry, just 1 wave, and then we're going to move on. Not a lot of moving around on this next part, but it can be a little tricky because of drones and grenadiers. They could shoot through this window, so be careful. We're going to open this door. We're going to throw our turret on the tires across from us. It's going to soak up a lot of the drones. We're going to deploy our shield. We're just going to poke out, and we're going to try to mark things. We're going to stay right in this doorway. We're not going to expose ourselves too much. We'll just stay right here the whole time. Hit what you can on the right-hand side. Things move around. Every once in a while, you may have to poke out and look left a little bit, but for the most part, you should be able to mark everything from here. Make sure you keep that turret up. It really does soak up the drones. If you get any technicians out there dropping drones on you. And if you get into trouble, run back into the room, hide away from the window. Don't stand in front of the window. They will shoot through the window as well. And if you have to reapply armor or anything like that. And then just, like I said, just deal with this about 3 waves. There may be a chungus at the end. Sometimes there isn't, but it shouldn't be too hard. Now we enter the drug lab. This is the last phase before the checkpoint, before the boss. So we enter these doors, and we're going to stay to the front left, right behind the generator. And what's going to come out first is a couple of dogs. There's 3 dogs, 3 yellow dogs. You're going to mark them all, mark all 3 of them, and just stay back here. We're going to peek and just shoot them from a distance. Really easy to take out these dogs. Once the dogs are down, infantry are going to come out the same door. Be able to light most of them up before they get anywhere. Mark 3 up and just keep doing DPS. You should be doing fine. Now, once you have 2 infantry left, I believe once 2 left, 2 chunguses will come out far right-hand side door. And now the chunguses are out. And of course, we want to actually take the backpacks out as soon as possible because the hives will kill us. We're actually in a pretty good location here. They're not going to really shoot or do much damage to us from this location. Just make sure they're both marked and do as much damage as you can. Try to always hit the same location. I'm going for the chest right now. I cracked 1. The other one will crack pretty soon. And then once we defeat these 2 guys, we're going to move on to the actual boss. Now for this section, I did switch out my M1A Classic for Tommy gun because I wanted something close range. I know it's not going to work with my focus, but it's very chaotic in here. Sometimes you just need to spray and pray. So how I start this is I come up here to the right hand side. I'll throw my turret out into the middle, Try to get it on a box so it's up high, and then you start shooting. Now, one of the big issues here is there's 3 snipers, a red, a purple, and a yellow. They're not that big problem. The big problem is there's a yellow grenadier. He's the hardest one out there. The rest of them are all reds. There's the yellow grenadier. You can get him down quick, which I happen to do on this run. Great. You'll see a lot of gear on the ground. I've been running this a few times. I had a lot of bad luck just trying to figure my strat out. So deal with all the you have the grenadiers and a couple infantry running around. Just deal with them. Stay on this side. You can hide from the snipers over here. Ping the snipers once in a while, mark them up, and then deal with the rest of them. Now there's 3 phases. Once you kill the last guy for the first phase, that's when the second phase starts. You want to run to the middle. In the back area, you want to look up to the scoreboard, the jumbotron. There's 2 that come down, mark them, then look straight across. You'll see 2 yellows drop, and mark them up. At least get some of those down. We're going to move to the left now, and there's going to be an infantry coming around the corner here. Light him up. Now we're going to hide around behind this left over here in a second. Here's where I pull out the Tommy gun for close range. We're going to hide back here and take everyone else out. Now I know there's only 1 target left. My turret's actually got them lit up. So I'm going to go back into the spot I need to be from the 3rd wave, which is right back here. Once I take this guy out, I'm going to turn to my left and I'm going to shoot the specialized ammo box and start a fire. They're all going to jump down and start catching on fire. This is also where we're going to use the foam grenade. Try to kill as much, mark up as much as you can, throw the foam grenade out there, stop them. Now there's 3 medics. There's a purple, a red, and a yellow. You've got to take the medics out. If you don't get the medics out, you're basically done because they'll just revive everyone. Now the boss is coming. It's the 3rd wave has started. We've killed enough. So we actually want to make our way to the back of the arena and actually go hide out there for a minute. Now what you want to do back here is take out all the infantry. I think there's like 2 or 3 technicians that drop down with the boss. We want to take them out, and then we have to deal with the boss. At this point, the boss fight is just like a regular heroic fight, other than the boss hits really hard, and you know he has the same abilities. So we have to take the backpack out first because he heals, and he also has that 1-shot kill for us. Once we get the backpack taken out, it's pretty easy. This is a long fight for me. On this take, I got to get better at my positioning. I try to keep my turret out in the middle so it has something else to shoot at. Sometimes the boss will focus on it as opposed to me. I switch my Tommy gun out to and act my M1A again. This way I can actually do, I can hit the backpack pretty hard. The idea is the same as all the other encounters so far. Barely poke out so he can't hit you, but you can actually ping the backpack. You got to get that backpack taken out. Once the backpack's taken out, it's actually a pretty easy fight. You see, I'm just pinging the backpack, just keep hitting it and barely poking out. Now you have to be wary of when he does his 1-shot kill, the pulse that kills 1 shot. And when you see that, you got to run away. I don't know the exact I still haven't quite figured out the exact how far away I need to be. When I see it, I just run to the other side of the room. Once the backpack's out, I'm a little more daring. This is this orange yellow box right here, electrical panel box, is actually a pretty good place to hide around. You can actually move left and right, and now the object is shoot him in the face, right? The boss is completely armored from the neck down and invulnerable, but the head's the only thing exposed. So just keep pinging the head and you'll win. I know this is a long video, but I hope you still enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you did, please hit that like button below and leave a comment if you have any questions. I'll do my best to answer them. If you'd like to see more content like this, then please smash that subscribe button. You can also follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Maniocrity, where I stream Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings starting at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, agents, happy hunting.